it's Jen, and thanks for joining me on this Saturday. It is cold in Arizona today, which is cold to me. It's like I think it's 57, and I'm feeling cold. So today I'm going to do a video with the Michael stamps that I purchased. I think it was last week. So there's 6 little sets or stamp sets that I'm using. So I'm making 6 cards. So I have 6 different colored panels or card bases. My panels are Bristol Smooth cardstock, and then I'm going to use a frame for each one of these. So I have a scallop frame. I think these are Tonic Studios. And then I'm going to use my Distress inks. The Distress ink colors that I am going to use are Mermaid Lagoon, Picked Raspberry, Candied Apple, Mustard Seed, Mowed Lawn, and Worn Lipstick. So I just have taken some cardstock. So this is just basically the paper you would use in your computer printer. Nothing special. And I'm going to take each of the colors and use half of the piece of cardstock and do actually 2 colors to save myself some time and having to cut each one. So I'm just doing the outside because that is where the frame is going to be. So I'm not too concerned about the inside and not too concerned about exactly how it looks if the ink blending tool is putting imperfections on my paper, because like I said, it's just going to be a small strip or frame, and you're not really going to be able to tell. I do end up water distressing this towards the end. I don't know why I didn't think to do it right now, but I go ahead and cut out all of my frames for each of my colors, and here are the inserts, and so I will save those for another project. But I really like the colors. I think they're very pretty. And so each frame is going to coordinate with a card base. And I've gone ahead and cut down my panels to make sure that they fit into each of the frames. And the stamps are pretty small, so the panels are not real big. So I'm taking my Tonic Studios stamp tool, which I got for Christmas. So this is the first time I think I've really used it for anything. And the first stamps that I'm using is the avocados. And so I've already done my placement and got them placed where I want them on the card. I'm masking off the hearts and the sentiment, and I'm just going to use my VersaFine ink to stamp the actual image. I do end up coloring all of these stamps with alcohol markers. I don't have Copics. With some alcohol markers. And so as long as you let the ink dry enough, the ink won't smear when using alcohol markers. But the stamps aren't the greatest quality out there. And I didn't want to push down real hard, because if you have a cheaper stamp and you push down too hard, it will make the lines too fat. And I was trying to avoid that. I think it ended up happening on a few of these cards, but it is what it is. And so I just did some different colors for the sentiment and the hearts. And then the next stamps that I'm using is the cactus set. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'll mask off the areas I don't want inked in my black ink. And at the end, this turns out to be my favorite card. I really like how this turned out. I kept it pretty simple, and I really like how it turned out. So I pretty much show every process for every card because I do some mirror stamping, which I don't know that I've done before. And so I kind of wanted to show the different ways that it can turn out depending on what you use to mirror stamp. So this is the first image that I mirror stamp. It's the taco. And this card ended up being a huge mess for me, but I will show you that later. I actually stamp up everything first, and then I go back and do the frames and then the embellishing of the card. So this is the first one, like I said, that I mirror stamp. I'm just trying to, as you can see, it takes a while to get the image stamped. I conditioned it with my finger. I conditioned it with an eraser, and it still took a bit to get the ink to go down on the paper. So here is where I try to do a mirror stamp. So the stamp that I'm using is a close to my heart stamp, and I'm just using the back of it. And this is an older stamp. It was very sticky, and that might have been part of the problem. I think because it was probably an older stamp, had something to do with it. So I do show using a newer stamp later. I do this technique twice, so you'll be able to see the difference immediately. As you can see, when I pull this up, it does not leave a good image at all. So I did end up going back and doing this several times to get it a little darker than what it ends up right now. So as you can see, you cannot really see anything. So I didn't show it, but I did end up going back over that image to get it a little darker. So moving on to the next stamp is the cute little ice cream cone, and for the life of me I could not get the top of that to stamp up, and the marker that I use is a little too thick. But so the next one is the donut. This one's pretty simple and easy. It stamps up pretty well. And again, I'm just doing the image and the sentiment in different colors. So the last one is the banana, and this is the one that I do the mirror image technique on. So first I'm going to stamp up how it normally stamps, and then the stamp that I use is a Delusions stamp. So you're going to use the flat side, obviously, to get the image down, and I actually stamped it twice just to make sure that I had a good impression, and then just flip it over and place it where you want it, and then press down. And if you've watched my videos, you know before I mentioned that I think the Delusion stamps are awesome. I just think the quality is awesome, and so that might be the reason that this came out so much better than the first one. Not to say Close to My Heart doesn't have awesome quality stamps, because they do. I just think it's because it was an older stamp. It kind of affected the way that came out. So I do a little bit of coloring. I only show this because it's pretty basic. I don't color a lot, so I'm not real good at it. I don't practice it a lot. I have all of my colors in a book. I call it my color book because I have all my inks, all my sprays, all my stickles, and everything is just in a book that's just called my color book. So I don't have a whole set of alcohol markers at all. So what I've done is I've done color swatches for all the alcohol markers that I do have, and then I put the name or the brand. As you can see on the side, it says SN, which is Spectrum Noir, and then it'll have the color. And that's how I kind of get my range of colors when I want to use different brands of marker together. So here's all the completed cards, and I'm just taking a gray Spectrum Noir and doing a little bit of a shadow underneath all of the pictures. And I've gone ahead and colored them all. And then next I get out all of my card bases and match them up with all of the frames, so they kind of coordinate together. And then, like I said, I do also distress them with water. I don't know, it might be kind of hard to tell in the video, so I just showed me doing the one, but I just distress it with water just like you normally would by spritzing it with water and letting it sit, and then just taking a paper towel. And so I only show me setting up the first card because it's the same for every single card. So I'm just going to adhere the panel, and then I will go ahead and take the frame and adhere that. And then I am going to embellish them. So I got out all my little Nuvo drops and stickles. just coordinating colors that go with each of the cards. So the first one I do is a donut, and I'm taking my stickles and just going through kind of some of the sprinkles. I also took a black jelly roll pen and went over some of the black lines, like the cheeks and the eyes and the noses with that, just to bring that out a little bit more. So here I'm using some Spectrum Noir drops, and that finishes off the first card. So this taco card, I had all sorts of issues with it. I put the stickles, or not the stickles, I put the Nuvo drops on, and then I had put some black glossy accents for the eyes, and I didn't wait for it to dry. I wasn't even thinking about it, and I got my glitter pen out, and I went right over it and smudged the black on the card, and there was really... and then I tried to go back and do something else. So what I ended up doing is I made a little bow, so it's like the girl taco, and then I took some more Nuvo drops and kind of put it on the cheeks. After looking at it, I mean, I should have actually just re-stamped, cut the image out and put it on top to kind of save it a little better. It would have looked a little better, but I went ahead and left it. I like the bow, though. The bow looks cute. The next card... So on this card, I take my pink stickles, and then I just put some white dots on the ice cream, some glossy accents, or some, not glossy accents, yeah, I think that are glossy accents, and then a little silver heart on the cone. And then on the avocado card, again, I used my Nuvo drops and some DIY little dot enamel dots, I guess. And so that completes that card, and also glossy accents. The banana card, again, I use glossy accents on the bananas and on the hearts, and then some Nuvo drops elsewhere on the card. So here's just an overview of all of the cards that I did, with the exception of the taco card. I had it laying somewhere drying, and I just forgot to put it in the video. But here's all the cards. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you found it informative or any of the information useful, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you are not a subscriber and you would like to subscribe, please go ahead and hit the red subscribe button so that you can be notified of all of the videos once they come out. This is my favorite card right here. I absolutely love this. Just real simple, easy, not much to it. The cactus card I think is just beautiful. I used stickles on the hearts and then on the thorns of the cactus, so I really like that one. And then I did a bonus card, I guess you can call it a bonus card. I was just messing around and I just did this little ice cream card. But that is it. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful Saturday and a wonderful weekend, and I will catch you on my next video. Thanks so much.